The best in poker news, entertainment, and more. This is the Mark Hoke Show.
All right, everybody, after having a 2-hour jam session on headphones, we're back. What's up? Live from the Canadian Poker Tour Summer Showdown here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. We are fired up here. Main event going on. And wow, did we get some players out here today or what? We are up to just in this today's 1B, 180 players. 129 yesterday. Of course, guarantee hit at 150. So you can imagine the guys that are here at the CPT and Grey Eagle Casino thrilled to death. I mean, what an amazing showing for them. And I believe entries have closed at this point. So we should be getting a prize pool up here pretty soon. We'll see what how that all turns out. Of course, I'm Mark Hoke. Thank you for being with us. We're live here on the Mark Hoke Show. We're actually over in the Blaze restaurant where they tore everything out and have a bunch of poker tables in here. But things are getting serious now because no more playing around. You're out, you're out. No chance to come back into this thing. So everybody's got to play things a little bit differently. We've been seeing some wild action going on here. A lot of players firing multiple bullets. We got the guys just saying, you know what, I'm just going to stop playing and go in with anything suited and roll it off. It's been a pretty fun atmosphere. You know, we mentioned that a little bit on the show earlier today, that it's a little more fun in here than at some places we've gone to. And these guys are really having a great time, but of course it's going to start getting serious now as we can really start thinking about playing for this championship and, you know, not worrying about re-entries or anything like that. But pretty outstanding run here for the CPT guys. Huge turnout for them. 110 players left today. The 180 entries, of course, doing multiple re-entries here, but 110 on the board at the moment, and we'll break down all those chip counts for you and so on in just a little bit. Maybe hit a few of the highlights happening here. But of course, coming up here in about a half an hour as well, we have a all-in or fold tournament kicking off. I wonder who's taking charge of that over on the Poker News Canada team. Just cover that all-in or fold. Look at that. Wow, you're going to be like, we're covering that? Okay, sorry. I didn't know. I'm sure we'll get some information on that. But once again, players just starting to come back into the room, and we're getting ready to roll. Let's give you a little recap first on yesterday's action in case you haven't been following. 20 players made it through out of those 129 entries. And right now, Doug James, your 1A leader, 348,200 chips. Of course, these guys started off with 30. So pretty good day for Doug, who, of course, finished 4th in the high roller tournament here 2 days ago. So Doug James on the big board and looking good. We'll start off tomorrow at 348,200. And I'm sure we'll see some players right around that range when this day ends in about 5 or 6 hours. Second from yesterday, Richard Mass came in at 316,800. Ruben Percival at 304. Zun Chen at 300, so 4 players over the 300,000 chip mark. Yesterday's play, Raheem Hassam at 296, DA at 294. Let's swing this around here a little bit. Oh, my phone's being really testy right now. I think we're going to unplug that. Wow, that's fun. Peter Komotzidis at 232,000. Liam Brown at 224. Dustin Santani, 201. Those are your players over 200,000 chips to start the end of yesterday's play. Today, well, you know what? We are not getting too many surprises. The cream is rising to the top here on day 1B. as we hit the break, and play is just back underway now. And we just got the chip counts updated. Great job by the guys at ca.pokernews.com, where you can follow all the action. Lane Lyle doing it. Look at this. I mean, they're just banging away, getting it done. All these great notes. Firing it all up. And it is T win right now. Of course, T is leading the standings for the Canadian Poker Tour Player of the Year. Won the ladies event here, and now, and of course, also finished, has had some great finishes here so far. She is in first place right now on this level, and followed by David Tsai, TSI. He is at 135,000. Derek Hole at 98.3. Ryan Schoenbart stands at 87. Sinan Tofik, a runner-up in the high roller event, is at 86,000. Then we got Greg Maddox. No, not the baseball player. There's an E in this Maddox. Greg Maddox at 78,600. David Labchuk, 73.3. Ali Rabah, 73. Mike Leah. Hey, there we go. We've been waiting for Go Leafs Go A to kind of get the train rolling. And, you know, obviously with the no more re-entries here, you know, Mike had to play it up, and he's gotten it done now at 70,100. Thomas Taylor at 58.7 among your chip leaders here, with 110 entries left on this one. And usually, you know, I would imagine we'll probably see about 40 to 50 players advance tonight. So yeah, probably looking around 60 or 70 tomorrow. Should be a pretty good one there. And of course, still waiting for the announcement on the prize pools. Of course, we had a $150,000 guarantee. That is long gone. Blinds right now at 501,180. And everybody just getting settled back in and firing it up. And just running down through some action. I'll tell you, T Win has been just absolutely rolling today, and she's gotten in quite a few interesting hands. Let me back up here. Of course, she had a significant chip lead for a while until we got a chip count there on David Tsai, but T looking very good right now. Interesting, by the way, you know, like I said, it's been a very active vocal group here, and we had Mike Leah had actually busted out earlier today again and went on a new table, but he got a new player in there, and this was pretty interesting. Guy a little bit vocal, of course. You know, Mike's a pretty quiet guy. Said I used up my allowance. I should get more this month. My mom is staking me. If I could hide behind my computer screen, I would 4-bet this with 8 high, get a fold, and say I had kings. And I don't just leave my basement very often. I'll tell you what, it has been a fun day for sure. And if you haven't gotten the opportunity to play in one of the Canadian Poker Tour events, man, it doesn't matter if you're from the Canada or the U.S. or anywhere. Man, come on out here. You're going to have a great time. Of course, you'll see some of that on YouTube video. Just go under Mark Hoke, and you're going to see, let's see, Logan Dunn, M.D. Hughes, and John Agalakis just absolutely tearing it up in here earlier today on the show. So if you want to, you know, if you guys remember the video that we have with Gavin Smith, and let's see, who else was all in that thing? Jeff Madsen and Joe Sirach, and then everybody in the planet showed up. If you remember that one that we had at the World Series, less players, but similar results. Pretty much out of control on that. And now I think you know, things may be settling in a little bit more. And of course, the Poker News guys here, Poker News Canada team, getting everything together on their updates after the break, and getting ready to get back out and keep an eye on the action. Because once again, you know, obviously now we start playing for this championship, which, you know, should be bringing in a pretty hefty first prize. We'll be looking forward to seeing that announcement here coming up in just a little while. And let's see, just looking here for And here we go. There we got it. T-Win, of course, leading the way so far, and she's had a very interesting day. One-handed note, 7-6 Jack on the flop. Pretty risked it all in the river with a really huge call on this. Opponent says, I have a bad feeling about this. Don't make it too expressive checks. Win bets 4,500, then gets called turn 3 of hearts. Check calls her for a bet of 10,000. Deuce of clubs on the river. He goes all in, and then she makes the call with queens with 3 clubs on the board, and her opponent shows down 10s and doubles up. Wow. That's an interesting play with a pair of 10s there on that board with a flush draw and an overcard. But so that's one that bolsters T-Win. Of course, she'd been sitting at that point around 60, doubles to 122. So pretty impressive hand for her there. And then she got right back into it on level 6. And has just been pushing people around. Had a player to her right open for 800. Calls behind the hijack. It's also a call from the cutoff, as well as Jeff McNeely, 7-7 on the flop. McNeely checks. C1 bets out 1,500, win calls, as did C3, ace of diamonds on the turn. C1 a win check, and then C3 fires a bet out of 5,000. Queen on the river. She gets a check, and then she fires out for 15, and everybody folds it up. So pretty wild one there for T-Win. She has been just at the center of the action all day long and showing no signs of letting up whatsoever. So the current Canadian Poker Tour Player of the Year leader looking pretty sharp right now. Let's see if we've got the CPT Player of the Year standings. These are updated through yesterday. T-Win, the leader on that big board, 475.09 points. Looks like she could be headed to some more as long as she keeps this rolling. Mike Leah is in second, 442.46. Matt Lapasse, we heard his name at the World Series quite a bit. He stands at 387.74. Todd Fletcher at 385.66. Shane Brotherwood at 359.87. So there's your top 5 on the CPT Player of the Year 2004 rank, or 2004, my God, 2014 rankings on the Canadian Poker Tour. And of course, we do want to make sure that we mention all the great people associated with the Canadian Poker Tour that have been doing an outstanding job. Of course, once again, the Poker News team getting it done, doing a fantastic job giving live updates to everybody. We also, of course, have ivyleague.com, who has been back of this. Of course, Mike Leo, one of the Ivy League pros. And that's one of the big prizes for the Player of the Series. They're going to win a cruise from, Poker Cruise for 2 on Royal Caribbean. But they're also going to get a year-long Masters subscription to Ivy League. So, and trust me, that ain't cheap either. So, pretty exciting stuff there for the winners. Of course, GPI helping tabulate all the rankings for these players, especially the CPT Player of the Year race. So if you want to check them out, just go to globalpokerindex.com. Say hi to Alex, Eric, and the team over there. Be glad you did. See where you stand with the great GPI. Gotta like that. And of course, more updates coming in here as we just get back underway. I think we'll be hearing from some of that Poker News team. Let's see. And I don't think I think we're pretty much set on those chip counts at the moment. So once again, the players at level 10, 501,000. Another interesting thing happening right now up here. It starts tomorrow. And, unfortunately, it's the factor that players in the United States are not getting to be a part of. And that is Full Tilt, still around. No, I'm still waiting for them to be so completely absorbed by PokerStars. But the F-Tops is getting started tomorrow. So for you guys, of course, a lot of players, not only in Canada will be on there, but also a lot of players in the U.S. will be headed up to get involved in the F-Tops. This is going to be a huge series coming up on August 3rd, running through the 17th. 31 events, $4.5 million in guarantees on the F-Tops. And, of course, everybody gets their cute little jersey if they win. It would have gotten lit on fire a couple years ago, but everybody wants the F-Tops jersey now. So, let me just, and of course, on August 17th, there's a $1 million guaranteed main event. So, man, if you want to get involved in F-Tops, better hop on a plane. Maybe WestJet will still give you a discount. Check them out. Got to thank WestJet once again. Nice little upgrade on the flight up here. Certainly appreciated that. For free. That was pretty cool. Wow, you look bored. You ready? You want to come over and say hi? Let's get him in here. We've had enough of Lane Anderson. He's just, he's good, but Lyle's great. Let's get him on the show here. Get some reports from the floor. You have an awesome note taker there, by the way. Somebody's giving you guys some great information.
Sorry?
Got somebody giving you some great information there.
Yeah. No, she's been a great help for me. That's Jen Pratt, who's one of our coworkers as well, and getting chip stacks for us.
Very cool.
So it's awesome.
Awesome. So right now, I think the first story that we look at for this main event is the crushing of this guarantee.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, unbelievable turnout here.
Yeah, it's just absolutely amazing. I mean, we're up over 300 total now. It's phenomenal. It is great to see, and these events just keep getting bigger and bigger. So it's awesome to see.
Yeah, and of course, you guys have been covering the Canadian Poker Tour events for a long time. Talk a little bit about the evolution of this tour and from where it started to where it's come now. I mean, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. We started coming to this for the Spring Showdown this year, and really pulled I think, some great stuff out. We had some very good coverage for it, and that also crushed all the guarantees forever. Kelly makes us feel really welcome when we come here. It's actually made me feel so welcome when we came in for the first one. I actually showed up at the hotel to check into my hotel, and gave my name to the desk, Lyle Bateman, and she looks down the list and bit of a confused look on her face and says, "Can you give me your name again?" I said, "Lyle Bateman." She looks down the list again. "Can you spell that for me, please?" So I give her my card, Bateman, Batman with an E in the middle.
There you go.
It's pretty common. She looks down her list. Like, the Canadian Poker Tour has booked some rooms, right? I'm part of the Canadian Poker Tour room, and she looks down the list. She's got a confused look on her face. She says, "You're sure it's Lyle Bateman?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure it's Lyle Bateman." She says, "Because I have a Lyle Berman on the list."
Oh my God.
So of course
I
just ended up howling, right?
Wow.
Of course, the poor girl behind the desk has no idea why I'm cracking up and rolling on the floor laughing. Turned out that Kelly got her names mixed up and had me booked in as Lyle Berman. I was pretty sure that Lyle Berman wasn't coming to play this event.
Yeah.
Pretty doubtful, but
You never know.
But it was wonderful. I mean, it all works out, and it was a great event, and it was just a really good time. As is this one turning out to be just a wonderful time.
Yeah, and we're seeing some very interesting poker going on here in this main event. A lot of players didn't hesitate to open their wallets on this one, did they?
There's been some rebuys for sure. We've seen Mike Leah fire several bullets. We're looking at 5 or 6, I think, at least for him. There's a mythical player in the other room who has apparently fired as many as 10.
Oh my God.
As many as 10 bullets at this. So he's adding to the prize pool for everybody else. Although I believe he actually still has a stack. So it's possible that we may see him tomorrow still.
Well, I would hope so. After 10 bullets, you better get to day 2.
I think he pretty much has to final table this thing to break even. But
yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, I think so.
I was just thinking how far up the chart he's going to have to go. But yeah, that'll do it. I think one thing that's interesting too is the atmosphere in here. It's so much different. I don't know if you're at the World Series this year or not, but it was so serious down there. And now, we're back in the swing of things out on the circuit everywhere across North America and soon to be around the world again with EPT. But everybody in here just seems really it's more a lighthearted and not so tight atmosphere. I mean, have you noticed that too?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of the things that I notice about poker in Southern Alberta, especially. There's a lot of people that know each other to start with, so there's a lot of friendly camaraderie that way. But even when somebody new sits down at the table, it's a very friendly sort of atmosphere. There's not a lot of, there's almost no abuse of players for the way they play, which I think is kind of silly anyways, because, you know, if I'm playing badly, why are you telling me I'm playing badly? That's kind of silly, right?
Right.
So, you know, be nice to me. Let me play badly if I'm playing badly, right?
There you go. There you go. And I do apologize. We had our video feed out there for a second. There, we got that
no
corrected. But, yeah, there you are.
Cool.
That's what's rare. Yeah, but, you know, and a great story looks like it's going to be emerging here is T. Wynn. She has just been firing it up and playing great poker here this whole series, and now, you know, in very good shape to be amongst the chip leaders after once this day 1B is over. You know, tell us a little bit about what you know about T.
Well, she really came onto the scene in this on this event when she took down the ladies. We didn't really know a ton about her, and she took down the ladies event and then powered through to a cash in the high roller, and she is just killing table 17 over here. She is by far the big stack in the room, and she's pretty much having her way with it when she's in the pot. She's pretty much having her way with the guys there. So.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of great ladies players in this series, and especially, you know, the main event. The ladies are really making some noise here. I know we got a few through from yesterday's play, and now it looks like we're probably going to get a few more tonight. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that T is almost a lock to go through. Nicole Cervenka is looking like she's putting together a pretty big stack, and Pam McNaughton is another one that looks like she's putting together a pretty good stack as well. So I think we could see any of those three on the final day tomorrow.
So who are some of the other players that are standing out to you right now? Obviously, you know, we got a couple of chip leaders there, but you know, tell us a little bit about maybe some of the other guys that are really you know, up and coming and looking good for this afternoon.
Well, certainly. I mean, there's a fellow by the name of Bash Ramahi who was crushing the high roller for a good portion of the day. He didn't end up finishing it, but he was doing just amazing, and he's a solid player all the way around. We've got another fellow named Ali Rabah who's over here on table 17, who is just constantly pressing and being aggressive, and is a really solid player. Of course, we've got Mike Leah here from Toronto, who's just huge, and, you know, he's one of Canada's top players now. Any guy who can cash 2 events in 24 hours, you gotta.
That's so sick.
Take your hats off.
How do you win 2 tournaments in 24 hours? That's ridiculous.
How do you manage to play 2 tournaments in 24 hours? That's what I don't get.
Yeah, you know, I interviewed him about that. It was really a weird scenario where he was playing. He finished up, and there was a turbo, I believe it was, that he hopped into.
Yeah. That
started a little later in the day, and off he went.
Yep. Late reg in the turbo, and.
Yeah, and it's amazing. You know, I mean, obviously, with, you know, when those turbos, you know, especially on the circuit, finish pretty quick. So. Lucked out and ended up doing something that I can't remember the last time somebody pulled a stunt like that.
Yeah.
I've seen back to back, but, you know, not in 24 hours.
No, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. It's just phenomenal. So there are any number of huge players around the room today. We got Alex Bilecki in from Vancouver, who's doing just an awesome job as well, and he's always fun to watch. He'll probably get into the beers a little bit later too, so that could be fun to watch.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Guys got to be careful with that. I'll tell you what, because trust me, I've known this for a very long time. The Canadians do like to drink a little bit.
We do.
Just a little.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes we do.
Just a little.
Just a little.
Just a tad.
Yeah.
What's the real good drink of choice? I mean, obviously great beers up here, but you know.
Yeah. If you really want to be Canadian, you got to go to the rye whiskeys.
Okay.
You got to get on the rye. I mean, Canadian Club is actually considered one of the best rye whiskeys in the world. Crown Royal is another really good one. Crown is just smooth, just smooth, man. So really, the rye whiskeys are a good one. And another purely Alberta drink, the Bloody Caesar, invented in Calgary.
I saw those being drank earlier today. It's claimed to victim, if I'm right.
Trust me, they are wonderful. It's clamato juice, vodka, Tabasco, and a bunch of spices with Some sort of vegetable typically in it. It's celery, could be asparagus, something to kind of stir with.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
stir stick. It's not really
Yeah.
made for eating per
No,
se.
not really. And,
It's a stir stick.
You know, if you leave it
It's
in
a
there long
Canadian
enough,
stir stick.
well, if you leave it in there long enough, it absorbs all the alcohol, so then you can eat it.
Yeah,
So
that's worth it.
exactly. So go for the Caesar or go for your rye whiskey. Those are your Canadian drinks.
Is Canadian Windsor considered a decent whiskey?
It's not bad. It's not bad. I wouldn't quite put it in the same level as Crown Royal or CC, but
Yeah. That's what I drank a lot of that in college.
yeah.
Windsor was my friend.
Yeah.
Jack and Windsor. They made me very happy.
Yeah, Jack's not really ever been my friend, unfortunately.
Oh, you need to make him your friend. Even if it can be.
I
It's,
try.
It's more of a frenemy.
Well,
you know what I mean? It's a
that's
frenemy.
the thing. I try, and he just continually beats me up. Right? What can I do?
I got to ask you too. I just found out a little while ago that you also, aside from doing everything that you do, are a part-time stand-up comedian.
I do some stand-up comedian comedy work from time to time. It's I look at it as kind of a stress release. It's always been a sideline for me outside of my day job, and it's a way to break the stress. And I know a lot of people look at me like I'm got a third eye.
I was going to
say that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it gives you a chance to get up and say anything you damn well please. You can, if you're having a bad day, you can rant about your boss. If you're having, whatever's on your mind, you can get up and you can say it. And it really does, once you get over the nerves of getting up on stage, it really does give you a nice stress release, I find, for myself. And at the end of the day, there is no better feeling in the world than making somebody laugh.
Yeah.
That is, really, if the high that comes back from that, I can't imagine a drug that's the same, this is good of a high as you get from that. So it really is. That said, when you tell a joke and it's silence in the room, that's a pretty big low as well. So it's there's both sides of it.
It's very stressful. I mean, I know a lot of guys that are comedians in Las Vegas. So many of them come there to try and make it.
Yeah.
And it's just a fight for those guys.
Yeah.
It seems like half the time they're so miserable because you're chasing something that is so hard to get. Now, you want to be a headliner in Las Vegas, and it's just the competition is so brutal. And when you have to go out and do 10-minute sets in front of 8 people at an open house, that's a rough way to live.
It is absolutely a rough way to live. And one of the reasons that I think it's a stress relief for me is that I don't rely on it for my living. If it was something that I was doing, that I was trying to rely on for my living, it would be a very stressful way to make a living. There are, obviously, if your name's Jerry Seinfeld, you can make a pretty good living as a comic.
He's all right.
But there's not a lot of other names after that are going to be making, a great living. And you got to be the Louis C.K., you got to be the Jerry Seinfeld, you got to be somebody like that to be making the big money. And everybody else is struggling. And that's especially true in Canada. Club comics in Canada will spend 20 to 25 days on the road and make virtually nothing for their month's time. It's really not. It's one of those things that you do it because you have no other choices. And I don't mean that to say that you've got no other skills or whatever. It's something inside of you says, I cannot survive unless I'm up on stage every night doing this.
Yeah.
And that makes you go and do it. Now, I've been lucky enough in my time to have a job that allows me to do other things outside of the poker news reporting, the stand-up comedy. I have enough time to be able to go off and do these other things, and it's really lets me do them without a lot of stress involved.
Right.
So
are you a one-liner guy, or are you a tell a story guy?
A little bit of a tell a story guy. I've got not a ton of one-liners. I know there's an ex-girlfriend of mine that had a breast job while I was going out with her, and it was kind of a cool thing. I was pretty impressed. But really at the end of the day, it only took like 2 or 3 days for him to lose that new boob smell, and that really sucked.
Wow! I want to see your set.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see your set. That's great. Who do you think is the greatest comedian of all time? When I mean, there's so many different styles,
yeah,
but
that's
if you had to
thing.
pick 1 or 2 guys or people that influenced you, who would you say?
Bill Hicks is one of the most honest people that has ever stood up on a stage, and that makes him funny because he talks about the most honest, raw things. Louis C.K. is another guy that's very similar in that way. It's not comedy in the sense of going up and telling a joke. It's comedy in the sense of go up and make your life funny.
Yeah.
Tell people about what's going on in your life and make that funny. Obviously, George Carlin is somebody who's just a mecca for anyone who's a comedian. To be half as good as Carlin would be any comedian's dream.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Your headline if you're half as good as Carlin.
And Bob Newhart is another one.
There's a good name.
Yep, a lot of people
forget Bob did a lot of great stand-up.
These days, people think of Bob as a TV actor, right? You know, the Bob Newhart Show, Newhart, all that stuff. And that's what most of the modern world thinks of him as. But when you look at his comedy albums in the 50s and the 60s, he is one of the funniest men who was making comedy at that time. He's just a hilarious guy. And go back and pull up some of his telephone skits are just some of the funniest things ever recorded, completely. So yeah, those I would say would be my favorites.
I'm a Sam Kinison guy myself too.
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah, Kinnison's good as well. He's a very, very funny guy.
Rest in peace, Sam.
Absolutely.
Loved
Absolutely.
you, buddy. Oh, see, that just makes my heart sad.
Absolutely.
Lost him. So, of course, we're going to be seeing more coverage from you guys here at the Canadian Poker Tour Summer Showdown. And, a lot happening over here. All in our fold tonight, by the way. Are you guys even going to look at that for a while? Or does that going to make your head explode?
It's going to make our heads explode. I think when we try to do the coverage on that, it's not exactly one that's going to be easy to do hand histories on because, it's, seat one shoved, seat two called, everybody's all in, and off you go. But it's going to be fun to watch for sure, and there's going to be like action like crazy, and people are just going to be going crazy, I think, and it's going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah, it should be a great night here at the Grey Eagle, and of course you guys can follow all the action ca.pokernews.com. And hey, we got to get you some Twitter followers too. You betcha. Twitter because apparently, we can't get Lane pepped up. So how about you?
At Elron6900 is my name, so go ahead and follow me there, and you can get links to all my Poker News articles as well from there. So
there you go, and it's ELRON.
ELRON.
Not like L. Ron Hubbard.
No, not like L. Ron Hubbard. And people actually ask me about that. It's kind of an embarrassing story because it makes me into the total geek and nerd that I am. But it's got nothing to do with Scientology. It's actually. I got the name of the Elf King from The Hobbit wrong. His name is Elrond with a D.
Yeah.
And I just kind of dropped a D and made it Elrond. So
wow.
So there you go. There's my nerd story for the day.
So you're a D dropper, is what you are.
I'm a D dropper. I'm a D dropper nerd, is what I am.
Oh my God, poor guy. Well, that's okay. You know what? Be you.
I am being me.
Nothing wrong with that.
You betcha.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping over here. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm sure we'll hear from you more tomorrow.
Thanks for having me, Mark. It was great.
And if I need more guests, I'll just grab you guys again.
You betcha. Sounds good.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Have a good one. We'll see you later,
You
man.
got it. There you go. Lyle Bateman joined us there from Poker News Canada. Yeah. Guy's doing an outstanding job. And, of course, once again, get all your updates from what's immediately happening in this tournament at ca.pokernews.com. And you can catch his stand-up around, too. Funny guy. I like that. That was a good joke. That's not easy to pick. It's not easy to pick one joke out to fire at somebody and say, you know what, this is my one shot. It's got to be good, and he nailed it. Big points. Score. Boom. All right. So I'll tell you what, we're about a half hour into the show, so that means we need to take a break. We come right back. We'll get more updates from what is happening here at the Canadian Poker Tour Summer Showdown. And sorry about the little video glitch there. Apparently somehow my cord got bumped. But we're all good now. So let's step back, take a break, and we'll be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show live from the Canadian Poker Tour Summer Showdown. Main event going on, plus the all-inner fold kicking off actually right around now. So should be interesting to see what kind of fun results we get from that. So stick around, everybody. We will be right back.
Saturday, August 9th, live from the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. The World Series of Fighting returns with WSOF 12. Luis Palomino, Luis Gonzalez, Ronnie Marks, and Cully Butterfield go head-to-head for a shot at the title.
Shuts it down!
Plus, 8 of Las Vegas's top MMA fighters square off for an electric night of action. For tickets, go to AXS.com and the Hard Rock box office or WSOF.com.
Poker players, it's time to check out DeegePoker.com. Deej Poker is the unique and clever choice for a new generation of true grinders, representing the full spectrum of poker players from the novice to the world champion. A true Deej player gives their heart and soul for countless hours at the table to be the best. And Deej Poker Apparel shows everyone who you really are, on and off the feld. So join the new generation at DeegePoker.com. That's DEEG Poker.com. Deej Poker, the world's newest poker apparel store.
I'm Dutch Boyd, two-time WSOP bracelet winner, and I want to share my story with you. 12 years as a pro has taught me a lot. For the last year, I've boiled it all down into a tell-all book, 90,000 words. In Poker Tilt, I take you on my journey through all the ups and downs that poker has to offer, all the manic highs and hellish lows of every bad beat and lucky draw. So go to www.pokertilt.com to read more, or just go buy the new book on Amazon or Kindle right now, pokertilt.com. I guarantee you'll enjoy the ride.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages, or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
Sports bettors, tired of getting beat every week at your sportsbook? It's time to stop guessing and start winning. We all know cash is king, and it's time to let the team at Double Digit Covers come to the rescue to help you get the positive cash flow you need to live the life you've always dreamed about. Tony Dos and his all-star sports handicapping team will be in your corner to help you beat the point spread, bring excitement and winning to your betting experience, and build your bankroll to levels you never thought possible. Get free winning sports information at DoubleDigitCovers.com. Stop guessing and start winning today at DoubleDigitCovers.com.
Call now for today's free winner. 1-855-489-2700. That's 1-855-489-2700.
The Canadian Poker Tour returns to Calgary, Alberta, Canada for the CPT Summer Showdown July 24th through August 3rd at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. With 10 big events over 11 days featuring over $500,000 in guarantees, it promises to be one of the most exciting events on the summer poker calendar. Plus, the Mark Hoke Show will be there live from July 31st through August 3rd for coverage of the CPT Summer Showdown High Roller and Main Event. For the full schedule and outstanding hotel and flight discounts, just visit CanadianPokerTour.tv. That's CanadianPokerTour.tv. See you in Calgary July 24th through August 3rd at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino for the Canadian Poker Tour Summer Showdown.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit BlindSquirrelApparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Masura stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, let's return to the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we are back live here. Oh, yeah. A little poker going on here up in Canada. Of course, that's like saying there's poker going on in the United States. We're in Calgary. Calgary, Alberta. It is the Canadian Poker Tour Summer Showdown going on right now. Main event. Had 180 entries right now listed today. At the moment, 110 players in this. And, of course, you know, we only ended up with 20 last night out of the 129 entries that we got. But, of course, tonight, there's no chance to come back. No second, third, 14th bullet you can fire. Now you've got to get the job done. And you can kind of tell the atmosphere is changing just a little bit in here. You know, guys not happy when they bust out. Instead of like, so what? I'll be back tomorrow. But not right now. And, of course, a lot of the big players stepping up trying to get the job done here and win this Canadian Poker Tour Summer Showdown main event. Two other events to go as well. Of course, like we said, the All In or Fold underway tonight. Of course, also tomorrow, Bounty Tournament coming up. So still time if you want to come down and play some poker. You don't have to, just because you didn't get in the main event doesn't mean you can't come down and play. Have a great time. Come down here to Grey Eagle and spend your Sunday afternoon with us. We'd love to see you. That one, Bounty Tournament, kicking off at 2 o'clock tomorrow. And that one, at least let me just double check the entry fee on that if I will go to the right place at some point, and I'm failing miserably. So sorry about that. I'll get the information for you that in just a second. We do have an update here. T-Win has picked up another pot. She has now moved it up to around 160,000. So she is taking command of this thing. Very impressive job for her. So, hey, and one of the, we always feature the ladies on our show, and, we're going to be seeing more. I have a feeling we're seeing more of her as she continues to build her confidence and ability. Pretty exciting to see one of the ladies at the top of the big board. The buy-in tomorrow, by the way, is Bounty is $30,000 guaranteed in that event. So should be a pretty good one there. And, of course, the Canadian Poker Tour, brought to you by Poker News and our show. Also, the Global Poker Index, ranking all the great players in the world. And if you want to, or anybody, actually. So if you want to check it out, go to globalpokerindex.com and take a look at the GPI rankings. We also, of course, have ivyleague.com here as well. Of course, the player of the series not only getting a Royal Caribbean Poker Super Cruise for 2, but they will also be getting an Ivy League Masters online training membership for 1 year. So that's a hell of a prize there to go along with that cruise. And, of course, if you win the series, that probably means you made a little bit of money, too. So that's not bad. We also, hey, got to mention real quick, we're just watching on the old television over here, and, up and down America, football season doesn't start for a little bit yet, but they are well underway in their CFL season, and we had the Saskatchewan Rough Riders on the big board here, taking on the Ottawa Red Blacks. Saskatchewan, easy winner, 38-14. They've been putting all the bad games up here. They had a couple good ones. Winnipeg Blue Bombers knocking off the Hamilton Tiger Cats by 27-26. We had to suffer through the Toronto Argonauts crushing the Montreal Alouettes, 31-5 on the screens in here yesterday. The BC Lions, and that was a great come from behind win, by the way. Calgary's got a nice little quarterback who actually won his first 8 starts here before finally losing yesterday, but barely. BC pulling off a miracle finish yesterday to win that one 25-24. So all you Canadian fans out there, yep, we're still paying attention to football. And right now I'm trying to see what happened in the Toronto Blue Jays game. Of course, we're over here in the Blaze restaurant, and anywhere really in the facility. You can watch a lot of great sports happening. It's including Sports Center with an RE. That's a little new for us. We're waiting to. I'm waiting to see these highlights because, of course, being an Orioles fan, I do not want the Toronto Blue Jays to win. No offense to everybody up here, but that's kind of the way it goes. We are primarily an American show, so just checking out the highlights here. And hey, Houston! Wow, Toronto lost to Houston. Great job, guys. 8-2. So tough break there for the Toronto Blue Jays. Another loss that just breaks my heart so badly. So they won't be getting anywhere near the Orioles anytime soon on that one. All right, so we're seeing some players getting moved around here. I'm sure we'll see an update on remaining players in the tournament here in just a little bit. Also, of course, want to make sure to mention some great things going on with our show. If you're new to the Mark Hoke Show, of course, we've been doing the show for 3 years. We were under Short Stack Radio and then Fifth Street Radio, now under my name. And we are, of course, on KLAV 1230 AM in Las Vegas. But don't fret. If you want to see this, listen to the show, of course, you can catch us also on KLAV1230am.com around the world. Wednesdays at 3, replays 3 p.m. Pacific time, and replays on Fridays at 9 p.m. Pacific time. And also going to be doing a new sports show down there too, Thursdays at 9 p.m. So pretty excited about that. So I'll be getting into doing some sports radio as well with my great co-host Helen May on that, and of course Nate Dallin and Joe Payne on the Mark Hoke Show. And by the way, guests coming up on Wednesday, Melissa Burr, who, if you weren't following what was going on at the World Series this year, Melissa, without question, the most consistent female performer of the year, had, I believe, 4 top 10 finishes, 3 final tables. So we're going to be having Melissa calling into the show on Wednesday. That should be a great interview, hearing her story as she just stormed out of nowhere. I knew her, but now just an amazing run at this year's World Series. And so we'll be having her on the show on Wednesday. And then also coming up for the show, we were just down at the 2-Pair Poker Tour event in Petaluma at the 101 Casino. Now we're here, and starting on August 20th, so we're about 18 days away from that. Or August 19th. Yeah, August 20th will be a first show. Of course, we'll be on KLAV there. We're going to be at the Seminole Hard Rock Casino for that series, of course, featuring a massive high roller and the $10 million guarantee event. Very excited to taking the show to Florida for the first time. It's amazing. I hadn't been to Florida or California with the show yet, so we're wrapping that one up in about a matter of a couple of weeks after the World Series. Please join us for all those great shows, all just like we're doing here at markhokeshow.com. Of course, we'll have shows on KLAV as well. I got to tell you, I have some interesting Twitter followers, by the way. Some people retweeting some fun stuff, to say the least. Hey, but I want to thank, and speaking of Twitter, of course, we're on Mark Hoke Show, or at Mark Hoke Show, excuse me, and got some new followers. Hey, MD Hughes, thanks for following with both his accounts, MD Poker Chips and MD Hughes 604. I want to welcome him on board. Poker France, at Alexis Leipsker, gives us a follow, so I want to thank Alexis for the follow on that. And, of course, we had Elron following us on Twitter as well. That's ELRON. That is the correct spelling now. There's no extra letters. We're going with it. Elron 6900. So give him a follow on Twitter as well if you wouldn't mind. We'd certainly appreciate it. Let's see who else hopped on here too. Rottinghouse, J-House, Haus 33. Got a follow. Of course, Bill Bruce, who's a great tournament director in Las Vegas. At Bill Bruce, welcome him to the Mark Hoke Show family on Twitter as well. We certainly do appreciate that. All right, so let's see if we've got any more updates coming in. And, yeah, T-Win just continues to put the heat on everybody came out right here in this level, has not blinked an eye. She's now up to 161,500 in chips. David Sai at 135. Bosch Ramahi at 110. Ryan Schoenbart, 87. Sanan Tawfik, who's been having a great series, he is also at 87. So these guys starting to get serious out here as we are closing in on day 2. I believe we'll be playing until about 2 in the morning or so. So I think we've got another 4 or 5 levels to go before, or 5 or 6 levels before this is all wrapped up tonight. It's pretty interesting. And, a lot of these players, we're starting to see a few players get shifted around as players drop out and, changing those dynamics of matchups and, things getting pretty, it's pretty interesting to say the least. But, of course, some of the, we know players like Mike Leah and Dan Adema, but, more, you're going to get to know some more names as we go along. And, of course, we don't want to forget yesterday's play wrapping up on day 1A. And a very impressive showing. Of course, only 20 players advanced, but Doug James putting up 348,200 chips on a day 1 with only 129 entries in that tournament, and of course, quite a few of those rebuys. So Doug James picking up 348 to roll through yesterday's play. Very nice job. And I just heard somebody yelling he's on his 6th bullet. Oh, my goodness. Everybody must have saved up their allowance or something to play in this tournament. I'll tell you what. Of course, they had a great satellite last night. I know it went over 100 players at least, and they were guaranteeing 5 seats. Destroyed that. It's been a great job by the Canadian Poker Tour putting this event together. And if you want to get more information about the Canadian Poker Tour, pretty simple. Just go to CanadianPokerTour.tv. That's CanadianPokerTour.tv, and you can learn about everything going on here. They got some great airline and hotel deals that they work out with all of their partners, and it should be a pretty cool series coming up for everybody. So you want to come up here and have some fun. Obviously, many people doing some international travel, but I'll tell you what, if you want to get on a good poker tour with a lot of great action and just a lot of fun too. The Canadian Poker Tour, definitely for you. They've already run about, let's see, this is their 7th event this year. And we're looking to, of course, have some more scheduled here pretty shortly. So keep your eyes on CanadianPokerTour.tv and join in the fun there. Of course, follow them on Twitter at CPTOnline.com, and Facebook is Canadian Poker Tour. So give them a like, and you can check it out as well. All right, and once again, just kind of taking a look at what's waiting for some more information to come into us. But once again, everybody's just kind of getting back in here from the break. And, of course, tomorrow we will be back on probably around 1, somewhere in that ballpark. And we're going to be covering this main event all the way tomorrow, as we always do here on the Mark Hoke Show. That final day gets pretty exciting. So, I mean, we may end up splitting some shows up, but definitely plan on this being here around 1 o'clock tomorrow. And, of course, we'll have that announcement up on Facebook and Twitter, so make sure you follow us there to get all the information about what we'll be seeing here on the show tomorrow. And, of course, we are now on level 11, 600, 1,200, 200 blinds. Players started off with 30,000. So seeing some good numbers already, especially T-Win up to listed right now at 161. Boy, you just can't beat a start like that. I mean, that is amazing. And we're hoping to see Kelly Kellner down here from the president of the Canadian Poker Tour. Haven't quite got him yet, but we'll say hi to him soon. And maybe we'll get the... I love how Lane looks over here. He's like, is Mark alone again? Is he alone again? It's like I'm like a dog on the side of the road that's got a broken leg, and Lane's like, do I really want to go help him, or do I get rabies? I don't know. It's kind of that was an interesting look. I dig this guy. I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to doing more of these events because if I get to hang out with these guys, I can't wait to get them all drunk. Lane, welcome over. What's up?
Well, I was just over in the poker room.
Okay.
And the push-fold event has started.
Oh, dear God.
So about 2 minutes into it, we've probably lost half the field.
Yeah.
Just saw Ace-King versus Ace-King, and the board ran out all hearts, so one of them busted out. That wasn't a very nice way to go, but yeah. So lots of excitement over there. Things just got loud.
Yeah, and that event, when we've seen those, they get so just nuts. Everybody's just it's you know it's a shove fest, and everybody's just having a good time, trying to pick up some cheap money.
It's a fun one. I think the first time I saw it was in Montreal during WPT, the Canadian Spring Championship. They're running it there, and they're always a cheap buy-in, but I've just never seen a tournament hall just go that crazy. Just everyone's having fun and yelling and laughing, and I don't think anyone's there because they think they have an edge. They're just going there to have a good time. So,
if you're playing that event, what's the minimum hand? If let's say you're going to be the first act, you've got a chance to go in without knowing anything else coming. What's your minimum hand that you're going to probably go in with to start this thing off?
Minimum hands. So like first act,
first act. You're going to have no one else has bet yet, so you're going to be able to make a push early. Are you willing to try some bluffs in late position, or are you just gonna? No. Okay. So what's your minimum hand?
I don't know. I was
Jacks,
thinking about
tens?
what the strategy is in this. So, pocket pairs, especially if everyone's just calling because they just want to flip. I mean, pocket pairs aren't doing you much good because people are gonna hit sets or what. I think suited connectors. If you ever get your hands on those, just push them in and hope to connect.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know, because you're probably going four-way all into a flop, so
yeah,
you just got to run good, and if you just get it in with pairs every time, that's not going to be the way to go, I don't think.
Yeah, and, one thing that I think is interesting about this is the later you get in, there is some more strategy involved there, because now you're obviously dealing with some very chip stacks. You're getting to know the players a little bit better. You can maybe take some risks with depending on your position on the table too. I mean, there's still some strategy involved once you kind of get past the early stages of hell.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I imagine once they get to final table and the money starts becoming somewhat significant, they get past those min cashes. I suppose people are putting a bit more thought between, pushing or folding, calling or folding. I don't know. I'll have to go over there when they get to a final table and see how thoughtful and serious it gets, but I don't have high hopes for it.
There you go. Well, of course, you were covering the tournament last night, and give us a little bit of some idea about what happened last night. So when we see these 20 players come back tomorrow, we're going to who we're going to be looking at.
Well, we're going to be watching for Doug James because he came in as one of the chip leaders partway through the day, and he maintained that throughout the whole thing. He might have given it up by a slim margin a few times. I think a few people had climbed up and got some stacks, but he just consistently holds a big stack, and then he finished the day with about 345 or something. One of only 4 players over the 300K mark. So, and he was at the high roller and cashed in that. He was 4th place in that. So, and just before coming out here, he finished runner-up to John Agilakis, who he had on earlier, at the Ultra Stack in Vancouver. So he's on a run right now. He's a guy to watch. I think when we come back tomorrow, we'll see what kind of the big stacks are today, because it's a bigger field, so the big stack might be a bit bigger than that, might be getting close to the 400 mark, but he'll be one to watch tomorrow.
How long do we have? How many levels do we play tonight yet?
We're playing until, what's the level number? I don't remember.
11 right now.
We're going to be finished at just after 2, so I think the level is 16.
Yeah, 16 sounds right.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, should be a good one. So what are you seeing out here right now? I mean, it's been a very interesting day with a lot of bullets getting fired before we wrapped up the rebuy period for sure.
Yeah, there can't be many people in here who are on one bullet, because we'd report someone busted and put them at 0 in the chip counts, and then you turn around and they're sitting in a new seat. So there's literally, I don't think there's very many people here with one bullet. The ones that are still here anyways. And I mean, the one that we just keep writing about because you have to is going over to T's table, who won the CPT Ladies National Championship, and she's at the top of the CPT Player of the Year race, and she's sitting over there with our chip lead, and she's just absolutely killing it today. She's made some amazing calls. It's really cool to watch her play because I've just seen some awesome poker coming from her.
That's exciting to see too, because you having getting a very good female player coming out of a field like this, and in terms of the bigger scope of the game, it's nice to see a female doing so well. And of course, she's leading the CPT Player of the Year standings too.
She is.
This is we could be looking at a superstar in the making here.
I think so, and now she's actually sharing a table with number 2 on the CPT Player of the Year, because her and Mike Leah are sharing a table. So see those two clash hopefully soon. It could make for some fireworks, but no, it is really cool to see her stepping up, and just the results she's had. She had 2 cashes at Fallsview earlier this year, and then those points mixed with her ladies event win and her high roller cash. That's what gives her the top spot, those 4 results. But I mean, she can play really, really great poker, and I think a few of these guys are just stunned. They don't really know how to respond when they're in a hand with her. They don't know whether she's making a really intelligent move or if she's doing something goofy or what. They're trying to figure her out still, I think. So
I'm leaning towards intelligent moves.
Oh yeah,
the
for
way
sure.
She's played. I mean, I've been very impressed with what she's doing.
That's definitely what it is. But I think a few of the players are still trying to sort that out from their perspective.
And that can't be much fun with her stacking up chips, and then Mike Leah's sitting right there too. And that's a pretty tough table setting up over there.
That is a tough table. I don't know who's left on it now, but we definitely had some talent on it all day long. So. But Leah, he must be on, I don't know, bullet 4 maybe for the main event now. He's 3 for sure today, and he was here yesterday, so he's at least 4. So he's hoping to make this the one that goes all the way. But yeah, so we'll see those 2 clash on that table.
Is that pretty typical for these events? The guys are firing a lot of bullets, because it seems like it's been just a train wreck to a point.
I think so for the pros. I think that's typical because I think they see that there's a lot of value in this field, and so if it doesn't work out, they feel it's still worth it to just keep firing, because there's a lot of equity for them in this kind of a field. So I would say that's probably pretty typical here.
All right. So yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I'll let you get back to doing your thing over there. You guys are banging out, doing a great job on ca.pokernews.com.
We're trying our best.
Yeah, and of course, you're kind of the king of the Canada poker site, by the way.
I manage the site, so I don't know.
You run your little fiefdom.
Yeah, this is my little domain, and I am the king of it, but I do not have many subjects. I'm the king with no subjects.
Sometimes it's better to be a big fish in a small pond, right?
Yeah, well, there you go.
Because then you got to start doing stuff like Parvis does.
Oh, yeah, those guys work hard. I wouldn't want to be doing that. Well, I would want to say that. If they gave me the job offer, I'd probably do it. But, yeah, those guys work hard. I joined the global team during the World Series this summer and spent a month down there, and doing that, I mean, working 14-hour days, day after day after day for 60 events, man, that's hard work.
Yeah. So, well, you guys are getting it done here, and of course, we'll give more updates on events 9 and 10 plus the main event for the rest of the weekend. So make sure you go to ca.pokernews.com and check it out.
For sure.
Thanks for stopping over
All right.
again.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Mark.
it. It's like I've got my extra reporting staff here. These guys have been just fantastic, taking the time out to come over and say hi and help out a little bit as we continue on with our broadcast. Of course, we got about, at the most 27 minutes left, and then we're going to be calling it a night. And back tomorrow, all-day coverage of the main event, day 2, including a final table. And still waiting for the prize pools to come in, by the way. Anybody got a prize pool yet? No prize pool yet? Ugh. All right, well, we'll find out. But now down to listed 97 players remaining here on day 1B. So once again, I'd expect about probably about 60 players-ish getting through And that guy that took Mike Leah's earlier seat that we talked about, still firing away over there. Having a good old time. All right, so let's take one more break, and we come back. We'll get our final segment here on the Canadian Poker Tour Summer Showdown main event. We do appreciate you joining us here on the Mark Hoke Show. So let's take one more break, and we will be right back here. So stick with us, and we'll have more from the Canadian Poker Tour Summer Showdown main event right after this.
Saturday, August 9th, live from the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. The World Series of Fighting returns with WSOF 12. Luis Palomino, Luis Gonzalez, Ronnie Marks, and Cully Butterfield go head-to-head for a shot at the title.
Shuts it down.
Plus 8 of Las Vegas' top MMA fighters square off for an electric night of action. For tickets, go to AXS.com and the Hard Rock box office or WSOF.com.
Poker players, it's time to check out DeegePoker.com. Deej Poker is the unique and clever choice for a new generation of true grinders, representing the full spectrum of poker players from the novice to the world champion. A true Deej player gives their heart and soul for countless hours at the table to be the best. And Deej Poker Apparel shows everyone who you really are, on and off the felt. So join the new generation at DeegePoker.com. That's DEEG Poker.com. Deej Poker, the world's newest poker apparel store.
I'm Dutch Boyd, a two-time WSOP bracelet winner, and I want to share my story with you. 12 years as a pro has taught me a lot. For the last year, I've boiled it all down into a tell-all book, 90,000 words. In Poker Tilt, I take you on my journey through all the ups and downs that poker has to offer, all the manic highs and hellish lows of every bad beat and lucky draw. So go to www.pokertilt.com to read more, or just go buy the new book on Amazon or Kindle right now, pokertilt.com. I guarantee you'll enjoy the ride.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages, or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
Sports bettors, tired of getting beat every week at your sportsbook? It's time to stop guessing and start winning. We all know cash is king, and it's time to let the team at Double Digit Covers come to the rescue to help you get the positive cash flow you need to live the life you've always dreamed about. Tony Dos and his all-star sports handicapping team will be in your corner to help you beat the point spread, bring excitement and winning to your betting experience, and build your bankroll to levels you never thought possible. Get free winning sports information at DoubleDigitCovers.com. Stop guessing and start winning today at DoubleDigitCovers.com.
Call now for today's free winner. 1-855-489-2700. That's 1-855-489-2700.
The Canadian Poker Tour returns to Calgary, Alberta, Canada for the CPT Summer Showdown July 24th through August 3rd at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. With 10 big events over 11 days featuring over $500,000 in guarantees, it promises to be one of the most exciting events on the summer poker calendar. Plus, the Mark Hoke Show will be there live from July 31st through August 3rd for coverage of the CPT Summer Showdown High Roller and main event. For the full schedule and outstanding hotel and flight discounts, just visit CanadianPokerTour.tv. That's CanadianPokerTour.tv. See you in Calgary July 24th through August 3rd at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino for the Canadian Poker Tour Summer Showdown.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit blindsquirrelapparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Missouri stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, let's return to The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we are back here live. I may not turn my mic off. There we go. How about we push the right button? We'll get something right here. Well, of course, we're live here at Canadian Poker Tour Summer Showdown. Oh, there's a Paul George injury. Boy, if you guys didn't see that. Oh. It's one of the things that happens when players get bigger and stronger and faster than they have over the past decade or so. When the injuries happen that are gruesome, they're even more horrifying than what they used to be. And, we want to wish Paul George all the best. And sorry for the Indiana Pacers. That's a darn shame, but Paul's one of the best players in the NBA, and I'm sure he'll be back, pretty soon. So, wish him all the best in his rehabilitation and everything he's going to have to do to get back on the basketball court. And thanks for representing the Team USA as well. Not bad for some of the other countries losing Paul George, but it's very sad for us. Hey, we want to also mention, once again, coming up on this next Saturday, some great television viewing plus some great live viewing for all our friends in Las Vegas. As man, oh day, do we have a World Series of Fighting card number 12 coming up here. Should be something else at the Hard Rock Casino, where you're going to get to see, bear with us for a second, it looks like we got got a replay going up there, but a great card with coming up for you. So if you want to, unfortunately, I don't have that information. They changed the website just a little bit. But we got Luis Gonzalez taking on Palomino. Gonzalez, one of the top wrestlers in the history of the state of California. For those that don't know, there's only one classification in California, not like a lot of other states where there's 3 to 4 classifications. It's one state classification out there. So for you to win 2 state titles, you got to be pretty darn good. And this guy is now 9-0. Be looking for his 10th win in mixed martial arts. And he'll be taking on Palomino here, who is a knockout specialist. And it should be a pretty exciting card for WSOF 12. So if you're in Las Vegas, you want to pick up some tickets, you can go to WSOF.com, or also, of course, go to the Hard Rock and get those. But if you can't get down there, hey, just tune into NBC Sports Network, and you'll be able to watch some great fighters. And I'm telling you guys, if you haven't watched the WSOF card, you are really missing out. So take a look at that. WSOF.com. I also want to thank some sponsors of the show, Deej Poker, D-E-E-G Poker. Some of the most unique poker apparel you're ever going to see for the degenerate in you kids. Check them out at DeejPoker.com. Also want to thank Double Digit Covers. Stop guessing and start winning. Give Tony Dose and his all-star handicapping team a call at 855-489-2700. It's 855-489-2700. And you, too, can win at sports betting. It's time to stop blowing your money. Get with the best around. And, of course, so you guys up in Canada, they serve you, too, and will help you out. And a couple of boys there, he and Tony and Tommy Bertuzzi, Canadian guys. So, you can
some guys you can definitely trust. You know they're going to take care of you there. So once again, doubledigitcovers.com. Dutch Boyd's new book is out, Poker Tilt, and it is catching rave reviews. If you want to see what it's really like to be a poker player, you need to check out pokertilt.com. Just go to pokertilt.com and, of course, pick it up on Amazon as well. You're going to be glad you did. It is the poker book you can't put down. Our good friends at bluerail.net. Anybody around the world needs some website service, check out Blue Rail. They'll host for $9. Of course, they do all sorts of multi-business platforms and e-commerce, the whole thing that you're ever going to need. So make sure you check them out at bluerail.net. How far do you want to go? And, of course, our good friends at Blind Squirrel Apparel, 20% off with the code HOKE, H-O-K-E, when you check out. So make sure you go to blindsquirrelapparel.com today. All right. And, once again, don't forget, catch us on KLAV 1230 a.m., Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, Fridays at 9 p.m. Pacific time with the replay on the show. Of course, for those of you that aren't in Las Vegas, can't pick it up on the radio dial, well, that's why there's KLAV1230am.com. All our past shows are also available on podcast on iTunes or on markhokeshow.podbean.com. That's Podbean, like baked beans, podbean.com. All right, so that's about where we're at right now. We'll get a couple more updates. But some other news before we wrap this up today. The schedule has been released for Aussie Millions. So we're going to, now I got to find a way to get over there. That would be something else. But that'll be starting up, let's see, starting January 14th and go through February 2nd, 21 events on that. Estimating that the winner of the main event, Aussie Millions main event, should be picking about 1.6 million Aussie dollars. The 3 challenge events are back: the $25,000 challenge, the $100,000 challenge, and the LK Boutique $250,000 challenge. So it is going to be an awesome Aussie Millions this year. Once again, kicking off with an $1,150 event. 4 starting days on that before they get to day 2. We've got a shot clock shootout this year. That's going to be on the 18th. $2,500 8-game mix, $1,150 no limit, $1,150 pot limit in event 5. The accumulator is back. That is going to be spread over 4 days. I'll have 3 starting days and a chance to accumulate chips. Should be a lot of fun. Event 7, they got a $2,500 horse. Of course, the $2,500 challenge we mentioned. And the $100,000 challenge. $1,650 no limit Hold'em bounty is in there. We've got an $1,150 Aussie Millions Tournament of Champions, no limit Hold'em split tournament, no limit Hold'em pot limit in Omaha, shot clock 6 max. We got the deep freeze tournament. So it should be a pretty exciting series again at the Aussie Millions coming up. So looking forward to the 2000. God, I can't believe we're talking about a tournament in 2015 already. But the Aussie Millions is on the big board, so make your plans now to enjoy that great flight over to Australia. Have fun. And also some other news dealing with PokerStars and Amaya. That transaction has been completed. It is done. Amaya has finished the acquisition of PokerStars in Full Tilt, so they are now under the Amaya umbrella. And, of course, that takes care of the Scheinbergs out of there. So they are done with their affiliation with PokerStars. And so Rational Brands is out, and Amaya is now going to be the boys behind PokerStars and Full Tilt. So brace yourselves. We'll see how things go there. And what changes, of course, the federal regulation in the United States, looking at New Jersey, Nevada, Delaware, and possibly some other states coming here pretty soon. So I know we're all looking forward to getting back in the international pool at some point, but that should be a pretty good start for us. So Amaya has gotten it done. Thank you very much, fellas. Any more updates coming in here? We had a hand Mike Leah gets in with Greg Maddox. Maddox opened for $3,000. called by 3 players. Queen 3-7 rainbow flop. Leah, it gets checked around Leah on the button who bet 8,000. Ali Rabah calls, other 2 players fold. 8 of clubs on the turn. Rabah checks. Leah fires out 20,000. Rabah calls, and we get a 10 of spades on the river. Rabah checks. Leah also checks it down, and Rabah shows a 7-6 for a pair of 7s, but Leah got that 10 on the river and ends up catching Ali Rabah and picks up some chips. So Mike Leah once again continues to start to chip up a little bit, and the ever dangerous one, Mike Leah, tries to chase down this CPT Summer Showdown main event championship. All right, and I think that's about all the updates we have at the moment on the tournament. T-Win, your day 1B leader at this point, still listed around 161, and we'll see if that trend continues for her. But some pretty big showdowns setting up tomorrow, so this could be gonna be a great finish on day 2, along with the all-in and fold playing out tonight, and of course bounty tournament tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So I think that's pretty much going to do it for us tonight. We want to thank everybody for joining us, and thank both of our Poker News guys for stopping by. Really do appreciate it. Lyle and Lane getting it done for us. And yeah, so that's pretty much the show for tonight. So we're scheduled to be on tentatively around 1 o'clock. That may change. So keep an eye on Mark Hoke Show on Twitter and the Mark Hoke Show on Facebook. And we'll confirm what time we're going to be starting that off tomorrow. Of course, some great poker coming up, and we'll be here all the way from until the end of this tournament as we'll wrap up our coverage on the Mark Hoke Show, the Canadian Poker Tour Summer Showdown. So that's going to do it, guys. We will see you tomorrow afternoon. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. We do appreciate it, and we will catch you tomorrow live here from the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Canadian Poker Tour Summer Showdown. Thank you so much for joining us.